What's going on? Good morning. Happy Monday. It is Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? What's up, fam? My people, it's good to be back with family. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Thanks for kicking it with Kyle this morning right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here today on the show every day, all day, or when news happens. All right. Thank you so much. I got a new hat today. Check this one out. All right. This one says DeBoer Grub 25. All right. Make Alabama football great again. And this was actually sent in from a fan like you. Okay. Michael Mistretta. So, man, I'll ask him where he got the hat from. I think he just like low-key designed it. So I'm not selling the hats or anything like that. But I'll definitely rock gear. If you guys send me gear, I'll rock it. Especially a hat like this. I like the rope hats, and this is tight. So today on the show, what I'm going to talk about, and I like the fact that it was crimson, right? Because a lot of the hats that you get are kind of like red. This one is crimson. Today on the show, I'm going to talk about the three main reasons that I feel Alabama is going to be better this season. All right, plain and simple. We'll start off Monday with some meat. We will also preview the commitment of Tayden Kawa out of Utah, who is a monster quarterback who was originally scheduled to commit today. He has pushed back his commitment to Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday, it doesn't matter. Looks like we're going to get a little bit of summer rain here on the back end of July. Okay, so that's what the show will be. And today, yes, today, we will spin the pinwheel for the tickets. Okay, so let me get to my opening. Then we'll do some shout outs. I'll thank the sponsors. Oh, we'll also hit on the SEC preseason rankings because I have a couple questions for you guys, after SEC Media Days, which was good. I thought it was great. I love SEC Media Days. I feel it kind of puts us into like a 42-yard field goal from the season. So here we stand. All right. We are on commitment watch. Okay. So you have Tayden Kawa, who has been predicted to commit to Alabama on Tuesday, July 22nd. I don't have a time for you. I will put the time when I find out. This would be a very good pickup for Alabama. As we continue to discuss, and I think he's even bigger than what the roster says right here, 6'4", 235 on 3. I think 24/7 has him at like 6'6", 250. I'm not kidding you. Like, the dude is a monster, okay? Out of Utah. And look, I'm going to say something that might be a little bit controversial regarding the quarterbacks that Alabama has right now. But I think, and it just in my opinion, I think that Tayden, this is my observations, okay? I kind of feel that Tayden, I like him more than Jet Thamala, okay? Now, I don't know the two guys, like individually, I'm sure they're great kids. I'm just saying talent-wise, I kind of like this guy, okay? So he will be announcing, I think he's been predicted and forecasted, all that stuff to Alabama. How would you guys feel about Pitt? Look, I get it. He's a 3-star right now. Who knows if he gets a Bama bump later on. How would you guys feel about picking up Tayden Kawa to this class of 2026? Yo, I'm all for the big dudes, man. They continue to load up with big quarterbacks, big defensive backs. You could give it a drop a thumbs up for your excitement about him potentially committing tomorrow. Or you could give me a, 1 to 10 excitement level. I'd probably be like 7, 8. Look, the coaches clearly have a recipe for what works within their system. And here in the back end of my segment, when I talk about three main reasons why I feel Alabama will be better this season, one of the core reasons is because of the quarterback development that Alabama now has with Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb, and Nick Sheridan. I feel for a long time the quarterbacks didn't have development since really 2020, and I think that has affected Alabama. They haven't won a national championship since that point in time. Are those two things connected? 100%. So I think this guy has a large ceiling. I think he fits the prototypical size that Coach Kalen DeBoer wants within his program. And, hopefully, he doesn't pull something and pick somewhere else. But I think he's been 100% forecasted to commit. Jason, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Jason doesn't like it. Wow. Hey, Jason, you do you, dog. That's fine with me, man. I appreciate the feedback. And I just feel after watching the tape, I felt that, he's a better quarterback, bro. But anytime you want to come back by and kick it with us, that's fine. But otherwise, man, you're good. And, we appreciate you, bro. So Tayden Kawa on deck to commit tomorrow, which will be Tuesday, July 22nd. So excited about it. I see it. You guys, BJ saying 8. Josh is saying 8. Anita's saying 7.5. Yeah, it feels good. So we'll see how that works out tomorrow. But Tayden Kawa, which would be another big pickup for Alabama in the class of 2026. The recruiting really hasn't slowed down. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens on like this August 1st date, because I think August 1st, reading between the lines, is when schools can actually give out, like, this is what you're looking at contract-wise from, a money standpoint. Quincy says 5. What's up, Q? Good to see you, dog. So we'll see what happens. So this is tomorrow, on Tuesday. Once the time comes out, I'll show you guys the time. And, we'll do a commitment watch and a whole commitment celebration. But I think, Tayden in store for Alabama. All right. Let me thank a couple sponsors. We got our good friends out in Arkansas, West Memphis, Arkansas, Marion, Arkansas, where I-55 and I-40 meet. They've been a summer sponsor for us. They've been great. I appreciate them. A lot of people, it's tough to get sponsorships within Tuscaloosa, so you got to go out to Arkansas. You got to go out to other parts, and we really appreciate you, man. So next time you're rolling through Arkansas, put on your Roll Tide hat and cruise on over to Sonic and tell them Bama Football on YouTube sent you, and tell them you're sorry about the Razorbacks. Also, I got to kick it to my boy Hunter Ketchum. He's got a travel agency that the thing is, I recently went through him, and he's money, bro. You just hit him up and he'll hit you right back. He's a travel agency with 0 booking fees, specializes in cruise vacations, land-based resorts. Mine was specifically for a hotel, game day travel car, hotels, like I said, independently owned. Vendors like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Princess Cruise Line. Hit him up, 334-797-6498. I'm telling you, the dude is good. He's been a long-time subscriber of the show. So hit him up and tell him Kyle Henderson at Bama Football on YouTube sent you. At the back end of the show, we will spin the pinwheel. This was the first time that we've done tickets for a show, and there's some damn good tickets. All right, so their front row tickets to get in was $25 for the raffle, a value of $371. We got a good amount of people in the raffle, so I appreciate you guys supporting the raffle, and I will spin the pinwheel at the back in the show. Alabama versus Louisiana Monroe, Section C, Row 2. It's literally an insane view. Saturday, September 2nd, 6:45, Bryant-Denny Stadium, Nick Saban Field. Once I get the tickets, I'll send them to you. I got proof that I bought the tickets, and you'll email me after, and we'll link up and we'll figure out, how to get you the tickets. And then you could go to Hunter for, your travel reservations. Here they are, a value of $371 for 2 tickets. People were like, "Wow, that's a lot for 2 tickets." Yeah, it's front row. It's look, it's the first game of the season. Like, you're going to see all 3 quarterbacks play in that game. The lights are going to be on in that game. Alabama will be coming off the first game of the season on the road, and you get your first home game right on the field level. So, tickets are still open. I'll leave it open for the show, but $25 to get in, unlimited for the raffle. So let me know, and we'll continue to do that. I think I might do tickets every single Wednesday, right, as the raffle. And I might go with different, price points. We'll see how it goes, because, 2 tickets, $371 is steep, but it is a good value to get in. Alex, I got you, dog. Thanks for hitting me up. I just got you right here. All right, look into the SEC preseason football rankings. This is how it shaked out, all right? So up at the top, the red dots indicate the teams that Alabama is going to play this year, okay? So leading the way in terms of points and projected order of finish for the SEC, you got Texas at the number 1 spot. You got Georgia, Alabama picked number 3 overall. LSU, South Carolina, Florida, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Auburn, Missouri, Vandy, Arkansas, Kentucky, and Mississippi State down at the bottom. You know, actually looking at these rankings, I'll go full screen again. I kind of like, I'm not mad at any of the rankings. Is there one particular team that you saw that should be ranked a little bit higher or lower within these rankings? I don't know. You know, we were discussing this, and I think, Mindy, it might have been you on our Friday show. Remember we had our early Friday show? It was like for 7 a.m. It was like our early morning club. I think you brought it up that you were saying you felt that Florida would be better than Tennessee. And obviously, you know, the media is agreeing with you. Now that I think about it, you know, I've had a couple days to sleep on it. I think you're absolutely right. You have DJ Lagway coming back. Billy Napier did a hell of a job. And I think probably that comes down to your returning quarterback, right? I'm glad to see that South Carolina wasn't hosed in like the preseason hype, because damn, that's probably where I would have had them. You know, I was going to go with Texas, probably Bama or Georgia. I think those are interchangeable. I guess LSU has the makings to make a real big run. South Carolina's going to be up there. Ole Miss, you know, people always, you know, sleeping on Ole Miss. By the way, did you see that Ole Miss had a player that passed away? I think it was this past weekend, huh? So thoughts and prayers to the family and to their entire organization. I think he was just 18 years old, which is absolutely, I didn't read all into it. I just kind of saw it on my social feed. Terrible. I think it happened in Memphis, if I'm not mistaken. Let me ask you like this. Who's your sleeper in the SEC? Like, who's your sleeper in the SEC? And I guess saying sleeper is under South Carolina. Is there one of those teams from maybe Florida to, I don't know, Vanderbilt? So on the screen, is there a team from Florida to Vanderbilt that could be like a sleeper team? I mean, no one's really talking about Ole Miss and Texas A&M. Maybe Oklahoma, right? There you go, Mr. B. We're on the same page, dog. I think maybe Oklahoma. I don't know if it's because I just played Oklahoma and they were ranked number 7, you know, on my dynasty, if you guys have been following. A lot of people saying, okay, Florida. Yeah, but Twan, I was saying like underneath South Carolina. Matt's still saying Tennessee. Probably, and Chad is saying A&M. Yeah, I'd probably have to say A&M or Oklahoma, but nobody at all is talking about Ole Miss, like zero. I don't know if we've just kind of given up on them. What's up, Charles? Good to see you, dog. You know, I always have to point out Q inside the comment box, because Q, he's hit on a bunch of things. Like his hit rate is really high, so he's saying Oklahoma. All right, so to close out the show, I'm going to talk about my 3 items. The goal today is 7 super chats. All right, so 7 super chats. You guys know what to do. Thanks for supporting me. At the back end of the show, we'll spin the pinwheel. I got a couple late additions for the raffle, so I'll get you guys in. So 7 super chats. Someone keep track. 7 super chats to see if we can get it. So I started thinking about this. I was talking to a buddy, and he was like, just high point it for me. What are 3 specific reasons that Alabama football is going to be better this season compared to last season, right? And I think it's very easy for me. And if you followed my shows for a long time, you probably know the direction that I'm going to go with. But let me put it out like this. These are the 3 reasons I feel that Alabama football will be better this season compared to last season. And it starts with this man right here. I think having Ryan Grubb, and here are the key elements, I think this automatically elevates Alabama's football team instantly, okay? He's had proven success with Coach Kalen DeBoer. You can go back and look at those 2 particular guys coaching together. They have had success, period. That's just it, okay? So, and I think each of those guys away from each other last year, they each learned a lot without each other, okay? Now, when you're looking at Coach Ryan Grubb coming in, one of the things that Coach Kalen DeBoer spoke about was cohesiveness and kind of those guys coming back together and having a familiarity with each other, right? So I think the proven success that these guys have had together is going to translate instantly. I think it already has, to be honest. I think even behind the scenes, coaches meetings, even getting these guys up to speed in the springtime, I think you've already seen success there. And I think, honestly, it's also, and I don't have it on these bullet points, but I think it has also helped from a recruiting standpoint, because the proven success, that's one thing, right? But also, if you're an offensive player specifically, you want to play for somebody like Ryan Grubb. You want to be developed by somebody like Ryan Grubb, it was in the NFL for just a short time, but he has proven success. And let's face it, he's one of the top offensive minds in college football at this point in time. He has elite offensive production to work with, and he's done it in the past. You look at what he did at Washington, you look at some of the stops that he had before then, he's going to produce on a very high level. That's why I always ask you, when we're talking about Ty Simpson, whoever the quarterback's going to be, how many yards do you think that Ty Simpson throws for this year? That's something to chew on. Does he throw for over 3,500 yards this season? Because we haven't had a quarterback hit that 3,000 mark, since 2021? Is that right? So I think being able to have elite production in the past is going to translate to this team because of the skill set that you have. Quarterback development. Yeah, this is going to be not only impactful right now, but I think as long as Ryan Grubb stays here, you're going to have quarterbacks that are developed. Appreciate the super chat, Dan. Got you, bro. And I'm going to continue to say this, and sometimes I might say things and people might get upset like earlier. I just want to say one thing. Let me stop the music. Okay. If you do not agree with something that I say in the show, that is okay. All right? That is okay. I would never, ever belittle anybody inside the comment box if they disagreed with something that I had to say. I want the show to be open to, I want to hear your points of view. I want you to hear mine. And that's how the show is a show. So, if you met me outside of this, I promise you, we would be boys. We would be friends. I promise you. So don't think just because you disagree with something that I say that, you're going to upset me or something like that. Dog, I have so many real life problems and I've gone through so much that, I'm callous to all the social media stuff. So I appreciate you guys being here, but please give me your feedback and don't feel like you have to sugarcoat shit because I'm grown, you're grown, we're kicking it, and just be yourself, all right? So don't feel that you can't hold back. Say what you want to say, dog. All right, so I think with the quarterback development, right, is Alabama has been lacking quarterback development since 2020. After Sarkisian left, he took A.J. Milwee, and I think Alex Mortensen, some guys behind the scenes, they also left. And I think that really impacted Alabama from a quarterback development standpoint. I really do. Now, Milroe had his own stuff that he was dealing with, but Milroe aside, I think the quarterbacks, got a little bit shortchanged. I really do. So now, with Grubb being here, he's an offensive guy that can get these guys going from a quarterback standpoint. That is why you want to come here if you're a quarterback. That is why you want to come here as a running back, a wide receiver. You're going to get fed. Now, it might not be as many touches as you were kind of hoping because he's going to spread the football around, but you're going to have a lot of offensive productions. Q, what's up, dog? I appreciate you. Q's going back to the SEC rankings. Let's see what he has to say. That's 2 out of 7 super chats, by the way. Q says this regarding Oklahoma. Oklahoma lost every starting wide receiver in the backup, and the entire offensive line was out last year. So their defense was on the field too long from a lack of offense. Appreciate it, Q. Thanks for the super dog. Good to see you, man. Good to ride with you off show as well. I also feel that you're going to get top tier offensive line coaching. And let me talk about this real quick. Now, I think when we talk about Ryan Grubb, we talk about quarterback. We talk about wide receiver. We talk about this amount of points. Remember, Ryan Grubb cut his teeth as an offensive line coach, okay? So he's going to help all of the positions continue to elevate, right? Coach Pilovic has done a really good job getting this offensive line, but we do have our eye on him. How is that offensive line, specifically at the right tackle, going to develop? You've had a year, you've had a chance to lay tracks, but you got to continue to get these guys up to speed, because if we have any holes on the offensive line, I don't care how fast this Bugatti is, it'd be driving like a Bugatti without a right tire. We're not going that far. So you got to have the offensive line tighten up, and I think, honestly, that Ryan Grubb will help the offensive line take steps forward. I'm praying for Welcome Formby. I'm praying that he's the guy. I believe in him. I know the coaches do, so hopefully we can do that. The final point on Ryan Grubb, and if you're just joining, I'm going over my 3 main points of why I feel Alabama football is going to be better this year. And my last point to Ryan Grubb specifically is the deep continuity within the staff. And that is something that Coach Kalen DeBoer spoke about during SEC Media Days. He said, look, we only have one coach that is not returning on the staff this year. And that goes for like the support staff, the medical staff, that goes all the way down, right? You have a lot of familiarity inside the locker room, not only with the players, but with the coaches as well. So adding in Grubb, you kept Shepard, you kept, Sheridan, you kept everybody, even on the defensive side, right? You only lost Colin Hitchler. So the deep continuity, I think, goes really far. Before I go to my next point, in terms of why I feel Alabama will be better, let me give a couple shout-outs real quick with the Supers. We got Q up in here. Again, he says that they're going to be running the football better this year. I love to see it, and I think it definitely is going to be a running back by committee. I think Jam will clearly be the guy, but I think a lot of the guys will get fed this year, and that's not a bad thing. Anytime that you get more running backs on the field, you keep these guys fresh. Josh in with the super chat as well. Thanks, dog. Appreciate you, man. Always taking care of us right here on Bama Football on YouTube, man. That's what's up. Thank you so much, dog. I think we had another one too. Hey, Barrys, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Yeah, it's been a minute. I saw you earlier in the chat, man, say what's up, and didn't have a chance to say thank you for being here, bro. But thank you. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the super. All right, point number 2, in terms of why Alabama football will be better this season, starts right here. But why? I should say, I thought I had defense. Okay, I'll just have to update the title. That's it. All right. So, a new quarterback. Look, I'm not going to talk about the former quarterback. I'm going to talk about the new quarterback, okay? Now, clearly, we have a new quarterback at Alabama football. And if Alabama was to have a game this Saturday, I'm going to say it just like the coaches say, it would be Ty Simpson. I think a couple of the reasons that the quarterback position is going to flourish this year is simply because of Ryan Grubb's quarterback-friendly system. I think that he's going to help these quarterbacks get the football out to the elite playmakers wherever they are. If it's a running back, if it's play action, whatever it is, I think you're going to be able to have a quarterback really excel because of the system that Ryan Grubb works. Now, I don't know if I really like the playbook on NCAA football with Alabama, but I don't think that's their real, DNA playbook. So I think that the quarterbacks will flourish within this system. This next point is probably why these quarterbacks are going to go off the rails, is the elite supporting cast. I mean, think about all the wide receivers, right? Think about them. We can name them all, and excited to think about all these wide receivers and what they bring to the team. The running backs are, the only person at SEC Media Days to ask about the quarterbacks was me on the show, and I think Coach Kalen DeBoer mentioned the running backs. But other than that, nobody talks about Alabama's running backs. It's crazy to me. Like, it's so crazy. Just wait. I think that a narrative that people see is Ryan Grubb coming in isn't going to use the running backs. I think that's it, right? See, Barry, what's up, man? Inside the comment box. Yeah, I'm still rolling with that playbook, and I'm 9-1. But it stresses me out, bro. I can't run the ball. Like, I can a little bit, but not like I would like to. So with Ryan Grubb helping the offensive line get going, I think you also have an improved offensive line. Now, let me ask you, because I got to go to the comment box for this. How confident are you that the offensive line takes steps forward this year? How confident are you that the offensive line takes steps forward this year? And let me do a quick edit on this because, you know, I'm too A-type to do a graphic if something isn't dressed up. I just couldn't. I couldn't talk about this slide with it not being right. So we got 8.5. Jarvis saying 8. J. Cole's nervous. Twan is really excited. Rory 10. So a lot of people feeling really excited about. This is good. I didn't expect it to be like this. Night Boys is saying, can you please tell him to kick Auburn out of the state of Alabama? Well, if Auburn doesn't do well, they might just get relegated altogether, right? So you don't have to worry about that. You know who I heard's playbook is really good on the game? I haven't tried it out yet, but I heard New Mexico, right? I heard New Mexico has a really good playbook. I haven't tried it. I'm playing with the same playbook. And I think it all comes out. So we know these are the two offensive linemen that we're watching too. Is like Cam Dewberry, who's the transfer in, right, from Texas A&M, and of course Will Conformby, who's from right here in beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. John Glass is saying 9. Charles Champion. What's up, Charles Champion? I'm gonna throw something on you guys. You guys don't know. Does anybody know? You know I'm a music head, but does anybody know Buju Banton? There's 0 chance. I'm saying low probability. Walk like a champion, talk like a champion. I don't know. That's gonna be hard. Does anybody know Buju Banton? All right, I'm continuing my points. These are 3 reasons why Alabama is going to be better. Right? I said Ryan Grubb. Now I'm working on the quarterbacks, and I'm going through each bullet point, and then defense is next. The quarterback competition is good. Don't get scared of competition. Competition makes every single thing better. All right, everything. Whether it's, you know, your favorite restaurant, whether it's your favorite YouTube channel, whether it's whatever. Okay. Competition makes everything better because it inspires that person to work that much harder, right? It inspires you to dial in. It inspires you because somebody is chasing you, right? You ever raced? You ever ran? Like, let's say you're running like a 40 time. Let's say you're running somebody, you're racing somebody. You are going to run faster because you want to beat them. So your competitive spirit is going to come out with competition, period. That's how it is in life. So don't get scared. The quarterback will be better this year because there's quarterback competition. That's why they want to continue to have a competition going into August so these guys can be that much better come kickoff time. Philip, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Oh, yeah, King Creasy. Some of you guys got the Buju Banton. Yeah, it is reggae. Yep, BJ, what's up, dog? Yeah, I used to always rock Buju Banton. Man, that's a good album. I'm surprised you guys got that. That's good. That was a hard trivia. I already talked about this, kind of the strong coaching and the development. I think that will kind of transition into the quarterbacks, and the quarterbacks will be good to go. All right. All right, the last point, why Alabama football will be better. Man, I wish I wasn't like this. But do you see how this defense is a little bit like tabbed out? I wish I wasn't such a perfectionist, dog, but I got to. You guys deserve perfection. So let's line this up so it looks more. There you go. There you go. Okay, that looks better. So my last point is the defense. And I think when you look at Alabama's defense, that's another reason that I go right to a reason that Alabama is going to be better, right? Is the defense. It all starts up top with leadership. Leadership, you're not going far without leadership, okay? I'm going to say something. You need leadership at the workplace. You need leadership on the football field, and you need leadership at your house. You need, whether you're married and you have a wonderful family, if you're a single parent and you have a wonderful family, somebody needs to be the damn leader, okay? Because you're not going far, you're not going to have goals if you don't have a leader. You need a leader. You need somebody who's going to hold people accountable. You need to have somebody who's going to show discipline, leadership on the defensive side. Nobody is talking about Deontay Lawson. And it's sad because this dude is a monster, all right? And his season got cut short. My 2 comeback stories that I can't wait to see these guys flourish are Deontay Lawson, number 1, and number 2, Jalen Hill. Those are the guys that I'm watching because those guys were shortchanged of an amazing season last year. Exactly, BJ. You need leadership. If you don't have leadership within your life, call me. I will talk to you. I will inspire your ass so you can get going. High IQ in football. Like, I think these guys, think about this. All right, let's just talk about a couple. I'm going to name just a couple guys when you talk about IQ, because I think you get a higher IQ when you played the game and you've had actual experience, right? And I think Deontay Lawson, crazy amount of snaps. Nakai Hill-Green, who just transferred in from Colorado, crazy amount of snaps. Justin Jefferson came back, tons of snaps as well. Damani Jackson, tons of snaps. You think Xavier Brown is better or worse than last year? He's better because the dude played every single game last year, right? As a freshman, right? You got Tim Keenan, right? That guy has experience. Experience, IQ tied together as well. That's going to make your defense better. So I think the high football IQ plus, you know, I'm not going to lie. I think like other guys, you know, came in on the backside and helped the defense get a little bit better, like a Bray Hubbard, for example, right? Keon Sabb also has a lot of playing experience. The physical identity, we want this physical identity to continue to be a quintessential element of Alabama football. Let me try to say that again. We want physical identity of Alabama football to be a core item when people think about Alabama football. Just like Brian Kelly, LSU's coach, when he talked about Alabama, he said they are known for a physical identity. That could never change. If that changes, then, you know, we don't want it. We want to be physical. Football is a physical game. That's why they wear helmets. That's why they wear pads. You know, when you come across the middle, that's it. That better be the last time you ever come across the middle. So the physical identity still has to be there, and these guys had to put that, like a guy like Bray hitting somebody, that is it. Continuity 100% matters. You're not going to go far if you don't have continuity. You know, the leadership, the continuity, and you get better by going through adversity, all right? You ever gone through any type of adversity in your life, the people that are around you, you're better for it because, you know, those are tough times. I'm not going to lie. Last year, losing 4 games, it sucked. That's not it. But it should develop continuity around that team because they're like, hey, look, we know what it was last year. We know what it was like last year. We heard all the social media. We heard all the people talk. We heard everybody thinking that Rome was burning. All right. Oh, I hit up. Me and Kay went to McDonald's real quick this morning, so I hit up a little coffee. I'm just a black coffee dude. No cream, no sugar, just a small cup of coffee to get me going. I don't need to get inspired about life, dog. Every day is a blessing, right? Steven, I missed your comment, dog. What you had to say? Oh, you said you can't call me without my phone number? Yeah, I had to put my inspirational phone number inside, you know, somewhere so I don't get spam calls from Auburn fans. I'm sure they'd like to get inspired as well. All right, and my last point is playoff level hunger. Look, they have to be hungered. They have to be hungered. They have to be hungry. Like Tommy Castellanos provided the perfect soundbite for that defense. I haven't been in the Alabama locker room lately, but I would imagine what Tommy Castellanos had to say about Alabama football not being the same without Nick Saban. I'm sure that's somewhere in the locker room. I'm sure it's something that the players talk about. And just as they said at SEC Media Days, which I thought was a perfect soundbite, they were like, yo, straight up, all disrespect will be dealt with. 100%. And that's all you have to say. So because there is disrespect out there. They lost 4 games. People don't think Alabama is the same Alabama. I'm glad to see that they were ranked within the top 3 of the SEC. I think they're getting some of that momentum back. It doesn't take Alabama long to get momentum. It doesn't take them long to lose momentum. Year 2, the tracks are laid. So let's see what Coach Kalen DeBoer can do. And I have to say this about Coach Kalen DeBoer. It's taken me a little bit longer than I anticipated to kind of get behind him. But, you know, I do like consistency in performance, and I do like people that, you know, can stay emotionally grounded. And the guy went through year 1 was tough for anybody. And the guy didn't freak out. He wasn't overly dramatic. He just kept to it. And that's a good leader. We talk about leadership, right? I think you got a good one here. And I think it's been also, and right now, look, you can't win games because we're not in the season. But what you can do is you can win recruiting. And they've been doing a hell of a job recruiting in this new age of recruiting. They have a really good recruiting class, and tomorrow we'll watch for Tayden Kawa out of Utah to pull the trigger. He has already been predicted to commit to Alabama. So that's kind of where we're at. All right, I'll put his logo on the screen real quick. All right, Tayden Kawa supposed to be announcing tomorrow. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Yeah, Jeff is, or Eric, what's up? Jeff Stapleton talking about the quarterback, and then Eric is saying that they should be starving. 100%, dog, 100%. All right, I'm going to take a 2-minute to get organized for the pinwheel. We'll come back, and we'll do the tickets. It's that time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Bama Football on YouTube. Whether you like Buju Banton, Usher, Outkast, or Morgan Wallen, follow Bama Football on YouTube for all your latest Alabama football coverage. Remember, roll. I'm sorry. If you're new out there and you've never heard my stupid commercials, I do that. I know. I'm seeing somebody about it. Give me 1 second. I got to get organized for the pinwheel, and I'll be right back. All right, family, we got our first ticket raffle. I appreciate you guys getting in. Thank you so much. Man, Charles, I got you in too, man. Or Chuck with the late minute, man. All right, so look, if you win the raffle, it's very, very important for you to email me, as always, on the raffles to nmpreps@gmail.com, okay? I appreciate you guys. With that said, oh my goodness, we got to do it again. All right, here we go. You ready? 3. This is for the home opener, Louisiana Monroe. Here we go. 3, 2, 3, 2. I can't believe it. Here we're going. Mark Harris. Mark Harris. Congratulations to Mark Harris. Mark, you better email me, dog. Mark Harris. Let him know Mark Harris is our winner. Mark Harris, congratulations, dog. Mark Harris, please email me. Here's my email again. And if you want some inspirational calls, you can also hit me up too. Seriously, like you need some spiritual love, man, I'll hit you up, dog. Mark Harris, dude. Mark Harris, are you here? Nice win, Mark. All right, fam. Tomorrow, a couple things, okay? Couple things. Tomorrow, Tayden Kawa announces, all right, the big quarterback. I don't know what time he is, but we will be live. We'll have our morning show at 10, and then we'll have like a celebration commitment show for him, okay? So, Mark, dog, you got 24 hours, dude. And this is what I'm going to do. Honestly, Mark, you got 24 hours. You got to hit me up, dude. Steven, I put my email, dog. Email me. You want a spiritual call? I'll hit you up. All right. I hope you guys had a good show today. Remember, every single show comes from the bottom of my heart. I try my best every single time I step on the platform, right? So remember, have a good rest of your day. Be present. Be where your feet are at. I love you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for being here. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this Monday, July 21st. Kyle Henderson, Bama football on YouTube. Roll Tide, fam. See you next time. Walk like a champ. Don't talk like a champ. Don't.